It's not uncommon for people who are getting close to retirement to ask themselves, what is the biggest risk or what is the number one thing I should avoid doing to make sure that I have a long and successful retirement? What should I avoid? And there are a number of different questions, but I can say that there is one answer that I think is simple and most impactful that keeps people from making big mistakes in the first 5 years of retirement. And it's easy for them to not do. And again, this may sound oversimplified, but in my opinion, cash flow is the heart of retirement planning because all assumptions and strategies and models are built off of what your expected spending needs are, especially early on in retirement. So the number one thing I think people can do to give themselves the best shot at retirement success that is not going to cost them a lot of money, and it's not some super fancy investment vehicles. It's literally tracking your spending the last couple of years of your working life to give you a really good and in-depth idea of what your spending needs actually are going to be in retirement. Because if we confidently know what you're going to spend in retirement, because it's backed up by actual data of spending you have done within the last couple of years, that's going to provide tremendous amounts of confidence, being able to project that spending forward while adding on maybe additional spending items like extra vacations or travel. And then everything else from a retirement planning standpoint can be built off of those projections. We can run Monte Carlo simulations. We can put in spending guardrails. We can talk about spending cuts and spending increases during poor or positive economic conditions that you will or will not experience in retirement. But when retirees most often fail, it's because they either underestimate what they think they're going to spend in retirement, which means they overspend very, very quickly their financial capacity. Or for a lot of people, they dramatically underspend what they have the ability to do in retirement. So they go a decade and a half of underspending because they thought that's what their greatest life entailed from an expense standpoint. And then they get to a point where they're older, they can't spend as much, they can't enjoy more of life, and they regret not doing more while they were younger enough to do so and didn't realize they had the financial capacity to make that happen. So if you're a couple years away from retirement and you want to begin your retirement planning, the best way to do it is to just simply track what you spend your money on. Give yourself a really accurate idea of what your best life costs today so we can project that forward in retirement because everything else is built on top of that. If you're looking for a confident retirement, think PharmD Financial Planning, where I help clients spend freely, thrive through change, and never worry about running out of money. If you want to talk about your future retirement and how I can help you build that short and long term, feel free to schedule your free consultation, and I'd be happy to chat more about that. Until then, happy retirement planning.